Morning, everyone. Welcome back to Biblio Fitness. Hope everyone has had a great day, made some spectacular gains. Got a little harder went a little harder for your boy who's on his 14-day hiatus. I'm going to be like a wild animal by the end of it, but it's worth it. It's very necessary to rinse off this fatigue. I don't want to bury myself to the point where I'm completely burnt out. I don't want to do that. I'm not a pro bodybuilder, but at the same time, just gotta be aware. But today I didn't want to discuss section 464, which is titled "The Donor's Modesty." I really like this one. It's very interesting. So let's go ahead and get right down to it. Quote, "There is such a want of generosity in always posing as the donor and benefactor and showing one's face when doing so. But to give and bestow, and at the same time to conceal one's name and favor, or not to have a name at all, like nature, in whom this fact is more refreshing to us than anything else. Here at last we no more greet with the giver and bestower." Sorry, my apologies. No more with a gracious countenance. It is true that you have now forfeited even this comfort, for you have placed a God in this nature, and now everything is once again fettered and oppressed. Well, are we never to have the right of remaining alone with ourselves? Are we always to be watched, guarded, surrounded by leaning strings and gifts? If there is always someone around about us, the best part of courage and kindness will ever remain impossible of attainment in this world. Are we not tempted to fly to hell before this continual obtrusiveness of heaven, this inevitable supernatural neighbor? Never mind, it was only a dream. Let us wake up. End quote. I fucking love this one. Because it's a very interesting observation as to the whole patron and clients connection or whatever, the giver and bestower, as he says it. Because even when it comes to that sort of stuff, like donating with a face, there's always strings attached. And even when it comes to religions, if it comes to philosophies, it comes to these things of, we are providing you with salvation, but you have to do this and this and this and this. I am doing you this favor. I'm absolving you of your sins, but you have to do this and this and this and this. And it's not even just religious with the metaphysical or with a deity. It's even how we interact with one another, right? When a person does a favor for you, they expect you to act in a certain way in order to complete your side of the bargain as to why they gave you a favor in the first place. Or you have strings attached as to what you're supposed to do with this favor, how you're supposed to react, how you're supposed to be gratuitous towards this individual. It's never an altruistic thing, right? There's always pressure put on you to perform or to behave a certain way when you have this sort of relationship with other people, when you have this sort of relationship with your state, your country, your God. You're never able to be truly yourself. And that's why I really like this question. Is there, if there is always someone round about us, the best part of courage and kindness will ever remain impossible, because we're always going to have that proverbial judge hanging over our head. And that is the thing with civilization and morality. Morality really is the voice of the many, the proverbial judge of the individual, always looking down on you, always making sure that you are performing what is necessary, because it is because of us that you are able to do these things. Therefore, you owe us back something else. You owe us to behave in these sort of ways. And if we always have that sort of baggage, we're never going to be able to truly grow as individuals. We're never going to be able to truly progress because of these strings and attachments, because of the fact that we're never able to fully launch ourselves because we owe somebody something, or somebody owes us something, and they're looking at us as some sort of deity, because we can't even just speak about from us, like the person, like you as an individual and somebody else, but someone owing you. Because that's also quite dangerous, right? When you become a hero, when you become a celebrity to other individuals, You've actually placed a responsibility upon yourself, whether inadvertently or not, whether subconsciously or not. You now have a responsibility over other people because now they're looking for you, or they're looking to you as some sort of influence, as an example of so and so virtues. And that is going to be hanging over you. Now you can no longer perform what you want to do because you know that other people are watching you. Therefore, you are going to have to lock yourself up. And that's the problem with morality. That's one of the, and I like this with, that's the problem with civilization, is this: we're holding each one of us in check. We're holding each other on a leash. That's why we have such a thing as double ego or two egos. We're not only thinking about what we need to do, but we're even more importantly thinking about what our neighbors might think, or what might our neighbors see, or how our neighbors perceive of our actions or our decisions, or whatever the case may be. We'll never be able to find out really truly about ourselves with these sort of relationships in mind. That's why I'm starting to realize that being alone is a virtue. It is necessary to figure out who you really are. Because without these attachments, you no longer have any qualms of pushing it to the very limits of your excavation of the deserts, of your excavation in the labyrinth of your soul. Because you have no longer someone looking to you for guidance for some reason, or whatever, or you looking for someone else for guidance, or you looking for someone else for a favor, whatever the case may be. You are now in a position where you really are able to find what it is to be courageous, what it is to be kind, because it's now out of your own volition, not out of a debt that you have to pay. That is true modesty, right? As the title will say, or true magnanimity is the fact that you are able to bestow favor upon other individuals without them needing to pay you back somehow. And that's why, he's talking about someone without a face, someone without a name, like nature. We don't continuously give thanks to nature for being alive and for allowing us to draw breath, for not being squashed by gravity or being, lifted up into the heavens and burnt in the stratosphere. That sort of relationship we can have with other people, or we can initiate with other people by helping other people truck along. And so they are no longer feeling any sort of attachment to you, so they could truly progress to the levels that they can. And you're not screwed over either, so you could progress at the level that you can. There is no longer that relationship of someone looking up to the other individual and someone looking down. So, because these constant favors, morality, religion, code of conducts and stuff like that, are really forms of oppression that we never really truly look at from that perspective. And I really like this, is that, we're always being guarded by our neighbors. We're always guarded by these notions and we're always having these strings attached to these things. Like, we have to behave a certain way, we have to act a certain way. And I liked how at the end he says, are we not tempted to fly to hell before this continual obtrusiveness of heaven? Because it's a lot of pressure. It's constant pressure. It's constant being told what to do. And are you doing the right thing? Are you not doing the right thing? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And you're being twisted and coerced into places that you never wanted to be in the first place. You're never allowed to experiment. Never allowed to feel on your own. That's the problem with such absolute statements and absolutist religions that sell you the fact that they hold the absolute truth of it all. You no longer have to work for it. Like, you don't have to go and experiment and find out for yourself. We already have the answer for you. Just follow along. Why wouldn't you want to run to hell, considering how oppressive heaven is? How every single facet of your life is now being controlled and watched and held in front of your head and in front of your face as a potential crime, as a potential punishment that you will have to pay in the afterlife in hell. They say that they're here for the salvation of the souls and to be good people, but you're paying a hefty price for that supposed help. It is very, very interesting to look at. Can we ever truly be? Can we ever really reach our true potentials with all these strings and attachments? Obviously not. We're never going to be able to truly fly. We're never going to be able to truly find the true definitions of these words without the moral attachments to them, without letting go of these attachments. And that's the problem with vocabulary nowadays as well, right? Like, we only have these words, and these words come with their own baggage and preconceptions and their own, and what one needs to do in order to fulfill these words, in regards to civilization in general. We have so many stopgaps now, in terms of hindering one's progress, because now we have social media. Now we have all these avenues where it has become increasingly they're bashing into our brain more and more every day that how incredibly important it is to have social validation, how important it is to be validated by other people, how important it is to do things that other people like, because if not, you'll fail. Where there is so many avenues where we're stuck, where we're forced and coerced to go down roads and careers that we never wanted, we've never been interested in, but we're told and we're lied to that what's more important is not what we want, but what the culture wants, what our people or what our neighbors want. And while we always want to say that, I don't care about other people's opinions, that's bullshit, obviously. So these are things to be watchful out for, especially in the modern world, right? Like, we're becoming more and more attached to each other. How many of us can let go of our phones for more than 10 minutes? There's a lot of baggage to this, to these favors bestowed upon us, and we never really look at it that way. I feel like it's very important to see it that way, and that everything comes with a price. And while this very cynical way of looking at it, it is very true. That's why he's always talked, Nietzsche's always making the example of, if you really want to help someone, don't even show your face. Don't blatantly tell them, or don't blatantly show that you're the one that gave them the answer and stuff like that, because then resentment will come into play, because now they feel like you're stepping on their toes and stuff like that. So it's a very tricky game to play, but it's the really only way that people can grow, right? Getting rid of this connection of the countenance of an individual and being the bestower and being the one being bestowed upon and stuff like that. So I never really thought he would go down this route. It's very interesting, but as always, it's amazing, really. So that'll be all for today. I really did like this section. It's very interesting new way of looking at things now that I didn't see before. So hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all had a great time. Hope you all made some beautiful gains. As always, get some reading done today. Love you all, and until next time, peace.